Now to the latest in Friends star Matthew Perry's death investigation. One of the two doctors charged in connection to his death, Dr. Mark Chavez, is expected to plead guilty today to conspiring to distribute ketamine. A total of 5 people are charged in Perry's death last August, including the so-called ketamine queen, 2 doctors, an acquaintance, and Perry's longtime live-in assistant. Perry died at the age of 54 last October after a ketamine overdose. In the days leading up to his death, investigators revealed Dr. Salvador Plasencia and Jasmine Sanga, dubbed the ketamine queen, sold him many vials of the powerful surgical drug. Prosecutors allege they were feeding his addiction for profit and ignoring his well-being. Let's bring in senior correspondent Laura Ingle, who has details on today's plea. So, Laura, first of all, who is this other doctor and how was he connected to Perry's death?
Hi, Nichole. Yeah, we're following this very closely as we look at the people who are allegedly involved here. Dr. Mark Chavez was a critical cog in this alleged ongoing scheme to give Matthew Perry as much ketamine as he wanted, feeding into his addiction, allegedly supplying him with dozens of vials at a time up until his fatal dose. Chavez, a doctor from San Diego, is the one that investigators say sold the ketamine to Dr. Plasencia, which he had allegedly diverted from his former ketamine clinic. The 54-year-old reportedly signed a plea agreement with prosecutors this summer and is the 3rd person to plead guilty after the beloved Friends star Matthew Perry died last year. Now, prosecutors are said to be making these deals so they can get cooperation to go after the 2 more desirable targets in this case and investigation. Another doctor, and who you mentioned there, Jasmine Sanga, the woman known as the ketamine queen of Los Angeles. Chavez reportedly got a hold of additional ketamine to transfer to Plasencia by making false claims to a wholesale ketamine distributor and submitted fake prescriptions in the name of a former patient without that patient's knowledge or consent to get more of the drug. Chavez is part of that text chain that we've been hearing about, where the doctors talk about how much to charge Perry for the ketamine. You might remember this. Plasencia texting, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay," and, quote, "let's find out." Chavez, who is charged with conspiracy to distribute ketamine, is currently free on bond and has surrendered his medical license and his passport. He could face up to 10 years in federal prison, Nichole.
All right. So, Laura, what can we expect to come out of court today?
Yeah, right now, court is moving very slowly. The cases before Chavez are apparently taking a little more time, so he's not in front of the judge quite yet. Chavez arrived at court a short time ago, though. His hearing is set to begin any minute. We've got our cameras there. This is where he is expected to change his plea from not guilty to guilty. And that is most likely part of this plea deal we've been hearing about to get his prison time down. Then we'll hear about a sentencing date. But obviously, as you see there, a lot of interest to hear what this guy is going to say in court about this case. Nichole.
Absolutely. All right. Laura Ingle live on this for us. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.